Good. Now, have you heard about the hospital you can wear?
Well, you're about to. Here is Dr. Sal.
As an A&E doctor, I know firsthand just how important it is to monitor changes in a patient's pulse, temperature, blood pressure and heart rate. It's an essential early warning system that gives a clear indication if there are any potential problems, and it saves lives. In hospital, it's carried out by using expensive equipment and highly trained clinical staff. But what if hospital standard monitoring could be taken into the home? Chris Tomazu is the inventor of an ingenious device that might make this possible.
Within this thing that looks like a band-aid or a plaster, I've got some very, very sophisticated microelectronics. This is a microchip, something very similar that you would find in your mobile phone or in a computer. And what it does, it sticks on your chest in a non-obtrusive way, and it measures your heart rate, your respiration rate, and your temperature, but to medical grade now.
Chris had very personal reasons for inventing the device. In 2002, his 9-year-old son Marcus developed sudden kidney failure. After he left hospital, his parents had to provide the constant medical attention he needed at home.
The biggest issue for us was the paranoia of having to take his vital signs, because we knew that every few hours we would have to measure his blood pressure, his temperature, his heart rate, his weight.
Chris took matters into his own hands. As an award-winning electrical engineer, he was an expert in dealing with tiny microchips and complex algorithms, and he decided to apply those skills to his son's health.
I realised that some of the algorithms, some of the mathematics that I'm trying to create models the biology that I'm trying to measure. But if I'm using the same algorithm to measure heart rate, wow, I've taken it from one discipline to another discipline. And that was really it. I thought, this is exactly what I need for Marcus.
Chris's expertise allowed him to gather a team of experts together to create the wireless monitoring system in the plaster. The plaster is now undergoing medical trials in a hospital setting. Professor David Jane is leading the first clinical trial, and the early signs are encouraging.
We've picked up episodes where the patient has begun to become unwell that we otherwise wouldn't have done at such an early stage with the intermittent monitoring.
Pauline Barron is one of 75 patients taking part in the trial. The plaster wirelessly sends round-the-clock information of Pauline's vital signs to a central database in the hospital, and even to handheld devices.
The thing is, with this trial, it's not evasive. You get so fed up of people, you know, trying to get blood and everything every hour, every 2 hours, coming in and taking your temperature all through the night. You just get off to sleep and someone wakes you up, not their fault. But with this, you don't have any of that, because if you're all right, they just leave you alone.
You can walk around.
I can walk around. I've had a shower this morning.
Without having all the big clunky things coming around with you.
Yes, it's so much easier.
The trial is due to finish in a year's time. If successful, the device could be used in other hospitals and for home care. And with over 1 million chronic patients being treated at home, this clever device could change lives all over the country.
A wonderful invention, that really is. But that's all we've got time for tonight. A big thank you to Dominic and to Lacey. You've been brilliant. The pair of you, thanks for that insight into Albert Square. EastEnders is on at 8 o'clock tonight.
And look out for a range of programmes as part of BBC One's In the Mind season over the next 2 weeks.
Tomorrow we're going to be joined by Greg Davis and Stacey Dooley to launch BBC 3 online. Bye-bye. Good night.